And good afternoon. We want to bring you the latest on the storm. We're doing this every hour or so online so you can stay ahead of the storm. You know what's happening and you know when it's going to be winding down. First of all, I want to thank Mary Strasky, who helped us with all these updates earlier today. She did a fantastic job, and now Maggie is helping us here this afternoon. Allie will be coming up in a little while. She'll continue to update you on what's going on with the winds, but I want to update you with the snow, because I know that's what everybody wants to know about, what's going on with the snow. So here we go. There it is. Front, yep, that's the thing that's moved in here and really dropped those temperatures. I mean, we had highs this morning, very early this morning in the mid 40s, and then that front came through and that really caused everything to crash as far as the temperatures go. And then we saw that changeover from that rain to a little bit of a mix. I had some sleet at my house this morning at about 6:30 and then changed over to snow. That's our current look right now. Remember, if you were watching earlier, I talked about this one last heavy band moving through, and that's what we're seeing. So if you look at places right now like Mahanoy City, excuse me, Jim Thorpe, Lehighton, and those areas, that's where we're seeing that those heavier bands coming through. But this is the last hurrah for the storm. We know what it looks like on radar when we show those darker blues, but this is what it actually looks like on the ground there in Pottsville. So that gives you an idea. Hang in there, you folks in our southern tier, Pottsville and those areas. We'll highlight it once again. Broadheadsville, Hazleton. Oh, got a report from Ryan in Hazleton, 7 inches of snow there. But again, this is going to be the last hurrah for you guys because it'll be changing. Couple of places I want to show you real quick. The Wyoming Valley, as you can see, there's Scranton. We have the darker blues even back towards Dallas. So that would be that heavier snow moving through. And that's what it looks like from our roof cam right now currently. So we had on the board in our backyard just about 10 minutes ago. I just snapped this photo. We were about 6 1/4. So let's go back to that and you can see the heavier snow coming through with those last bands that are moving through. And it's also up there in the northern tier as well. I'll show you another couple of spots, but let me just adjust the camera angle here. That's one nice thing about being live. We can actually do this on the fly. So there's Forest City. That's one of the other spots that we were watching, keeping a close eye on. And as we go back to the radar, again, we move up into the Wyoming Valley. You see Forest City right there, coming down at a pretty good clip. But look out west. Look at Bradford County. Now we're already beginning to see it clear out. Now we've had reports in Bradford County of 8, 9 inches of snow in some spots. Not going to rule that out. That's certainly possible. We talked about maybe the northern tier seeing a little bit more than that 4 to 8. But look at Beaver Springs, State College, Lock Haven, Williamsport. That's all clearing out over there. As a matter of fact, the Williamsport camera's down, but I do have the South Williamsport camera. It was covered in snow earlier, but it's worth a look just to see what it may look like now. So we'll go ahead and pop that up, and nope, still covered in snow. So I was hoping the wind may have blown some of that off, but it has not. But you folks in central Pennsylvania, fear not. Look at this. This just in from the Montgomery Borough EMA. Michael Groover sending this to us, just over 5 inches of snow in Montgomery. But as I showed you on that radar map, it's really wrapping up now in central Pennsylvania. We'll go back to that. You can see Williamsport and those areas. So you folks in Montgomery sitting on just a little over 5 inches of snow right now, it's going to be wrapping up there as well. We still have that winter storm warning till 7 o'clock. That may get canceled a little bit early, but my concern now this evening would be for that blowing and drifting snow. Look at these steady wind speeds. The Poconos, I mentioned this before, you have been over 30 miles an hour. Every surface op that I've looked at since 1 o'clock has had you guys over 30 miles an hour. Steady. Those aren't peak wind gusts. So this has been an impressive wind display this afternoon. The temperature dropped this afternoon and then it just stayed on the bottom. You can see that front coming through between 3 and say 6 this morning. And then you can see the temperature drop to this point now. It's going to be getting even colder. And as I mentioned, Allie will be in later to track about how cold it's going to get. But we're already down to 17 Sayre, 19 Wellsboro, 16 in Renova, 18 Forest City. And we're looking at teens already, Hazleton, Blakesley. So a lot of this, wet roads out there right now. Look out for black ice. The snow's going to be tapering off tonight. And a general 4 to 8 with central Pennsylvania. Maybe a few spots like we just showed you, Montgomery, slightly more than 5. But that'll be the case for central Pennsylvania. And the future wind speeds, there's 4 this afternoon, but I just want to advance it here. There's 8 o'clock at night. Notice we're still 20, 25 miles an hour, and peak wind gusts over 30, even 40 miles an hour possible, even in the evening hours. So we are keeping an eye on all of this. Your snow totals, once again, the exception to this would be up there in the northern tier where we've had only a few, but a few is enough, reports right in this area here of just a few spots above that 8 inches. So lower amounts to the south. The Poconos had that drier air moving in, so things really shut down a little bit. As I mentioned, Hazleton, stretching back to Tobyhanna, we're looking at 6, maybe 7 inches of snow there. And then here in our backyard, we're closing in on 6.5 inches. We may finish out close to 7 by the time it's all said and done, and a little bit less than that in central Pennsylvania. So that's just recapping. We're going to have much more for you as we move through the afternoon. Again, we'll have another live update. If you have a relative or someone that's, not internet, sharp like me, then they can watch WNEP TV. We'll do another live update at 3 o'clock, and we'll continue to have more as we move through the afternoon. I think we're going to do one more streaming one at 4. I think Allie's going to take care of that one. So we'll keep you posted, and stay safe. The storm's almost wrapped up. Now we just have to deal with the wind. And keep in mind, next week, we're right back in the 50s. So a lot of this snow will be melting, so we'll want to keep an eye on those rivers and streams.